I'm not sure what to expect. Jamie sat on the side of the bed, being consoled by his wife Marjorie. All Jamie could do was think back to the other day at the lab and how he could have been exposed to the device. Jamie was an assistant in Professor Leahy's lab. A PhD student almost finished his degree in biochemistry. Dr. Leahy, a world-renowned researcher, was on the verge of a major discovery in DNA recovery and modification. His future employment options were endless. He could get a job at any university or scientific institute as soon as he finished his thesis. Now Jamie wasn't sure what would happen with his life. Life is funny, one day you're the pigeon, the next the statue. It was an accident, no one was at fault, but the damage was done. Jamie, with the help of Teddy, the other lab assistant, were replacing a burned-out light bulb above the door. Jamie was on top of the ladder when Dr. Leahy walked into the lab, bumping the ladder, causing it to collapse. Jamie fell onto the lab's most important experiment, the DNA modifier. A suitcase-sized device with cables running into the box, with 3 lenses focused towards a wall. The DNA modifier was sent spinning off the table, crashing to the floor. Oh dear. The device, it is all right. Teddy yelled as they ran to the device and inspected the box and computer. Aside from a few scratches and a small dent, everything was okay. Wow, that was lucky for us. Teddy yelled in relief. Unfortunately, the experiment that was running would have to be restarted as the computer restarted, losing the unsaved data. However, it was a minor delay in their schedule compared to losing the prototype. The DNA modifier was presently going through an overload phase to register how much energy could be produced in one burst. A meter was set up in the DNAM target area against the wall. Sorry, Professor, but the experiment will have to be restarted. The recording stopped just before the DNAM was hit and the data was corrupted. It shows the feedback beginning and the meter had just spiked, but no results after that point. The data is useless, as Jamie reviewed the data in the laptop. No problem, guys, it will only take an hour to rerun the experiment. Fortunately, the device seems to be okay. But next time, please take greater care in the lab, Leahy said with an air of frustration. The day progressed normally and nothing else seemed out of the ordinary. The following morning, Jamie was shaving when he noticed the few grey hairs were gone and his hairline was returning. Thinking nothing of it, he finished getting ready for work. Today he had a little more spring in his step and a renewed interest in the female students on campus. Especially Catherine Mallet, an athletic 25-year-old master's student in the department. When he passed her table at lunch, she smiled at him. During the afternoon, the 3 scientists were in the lab busy planning their fall schedule, when Jamie was hit a wave of heat and dizziness. Just as it started, it stopped. Jamie, you all right? The professor looked over at his workmate. A flushed Jamie responded. Yeah, I was feeling a little weak all of a sudden, but I'm feeling better now. Good to hear. We have a busy schedule starting next month, so we need to be ready, the professor noted. Anyways, everything seems to be in order. I'll be gone for a week or 2 on vacation with the family. When I return, we will get started. With that, the professor packed his briefcase and made his way to the door. See you all in a couple of weeks. That night, Jamie returned home to find his wife Marjorie had prepared dinner. He had time to open a beer before sitting down to dinner. His 3 kids came running into the dining room and sat down waiting for dinner to be served. Fridays were always pork chop night. Sheila, the oldest daughter at 14, sat down at the table and hurried through dinner to prepare for her date. Jamie immediately noticed she was wearing a denim miniskirt and an almost see-through blouse. Don't you think that outfit is a little revealing? Jamie inquired of his daughter. Nah, all the girls are wearing them these days, Sheila replied. Well, I don't like it. You are showing too much and boys will get the wrong idea if you wear that, the overly protective father replied. Maybe I want the boys to look at me. You're just too old to understand. Sheila sneered and quickly left the house. Jamie then settled back in his chair and relaxed with a beer. Rolling his eyes at the attitude of kids, He would never understand how kids think the way they do.